And that'll do it for the 2021 Seattle Seahawks. The season is a disaster, as we predicted. I'm stunned how many people are stunned that the Seahawks are dreadful. This is why we begged them all February and March to trade Russ and rebuild. Even after winning a division, that was a fluke. This is the real Seahawks team. Russ throwing a pick on that two-point conversion to tie, the perfect snapshot of failure. And so is this board. Look at how the 9 final drives ended. And that includes a whole slew of 3-and-outs. Russ has been terrible. Clearly not healthy. And I don't want to hear about the 19-hour rehab. I mean, please, Russ, sneaking a nap on occasion. This team stinks. Pete Carroll is disenchanted, disinterested, disengaged, and distraught. I can't see my guy Pete Carroll wanting to come back. And please don't let the final score fool you. Washington mauled Seattle, outrushed them 152-34. Washington controlled the ball for nearly 42 minutes compared to the Seahawks 18. And let me stress this. Washington, this is the old football team, not exactly a juggernaut. The Seattle offense is flat out offensive. The defense is embarrassing. In the 3 games Russ has been back, they got shut out at Lambeau. They lost to Colt McCoy at home, and they got punched in the face last night. Wilson and Carroll, not on the same page. Wilson's going to play for the Eagles or Saints or Dolphins or the Giants or Browns or Panthers, someone else next year. And they need to trade him because they don't have draft picks. 3-8 Seattle doesn't have a first-round pick, and they would have had a top pick, but they traded it. They dealt 2 first-rounders, last year's and this year's, for Jamal Adams, and now they're in the same category for wins as the Jets. Seattle is that bad. This was easy to recognize. The Hall of Fame coach and quarterback are goners at the end of the year. What an absolute disaster, and it was all preventable. Good for Brian Kelly. And when our good friend Pete Thamel broke the story last night, it was a legit wow moment. This is a wow hire. Phenomenal job by LSU. Brian Kelly is a fantastic college football coach. What he accomplished at Notre Dame was next level. Winningest coach in Notre Dame history, the BCS title game in 2012, college football playoffs in 2018 and 20, and heck, Notre Dame can even make it this year. But there's a ceiling at Notre Dame. The academic standards are amazing, but that impacts recruiting. And please, remember the coaches before Kelly and after Lou Holtz. Brian Kelly saved the program. He should be cherished and celebrated forever by Fighting Irish alumni and fans. And you can win a title at LSU. Can't win a title at Notre Dame. You can win a title at LSU. Everyone does. It's a recruiting hotbed. That's why Les Miles won. Ed Orgeron won. Ed Orgeron, terrible in-game coach who eventually failed and flamed out at LSU. And think about Coach O. He failed before he got to LSU. He was a terrible head coach. He won at LSU, screaming "Go Tigers," because he was a great recruiter, and he got the athletes. Kelly's going to win right away, going to win a title during the duration of his 10-year deal worth $95 million. I always figured that Kelly would end up taking an NFL job. I always did. Instead, he makes more money going to LSU. It's brilliant, and I don't want to hear he's too Midwest. I mean, remember when LSU hired Nick Saban? And I get it. You hated for the Fighting Irish players. They found out on social media, but you can, save it in terms of ripping Brian Kelly here. This is how it works. The only way this is done is in clandestine fashion. You can't tell your assistants, even if they're out recruiting for you. I feel bad for the players, but under the umbrella of it is what it is. I don't rip Brian Kelly at all. People need to chill and deal with it. Now, how about this? The Notre Dame athletic director, Jack Swarbrick, said today he might not even hire an interim head coach, and the interim won't be the next guy. Let me give you my short list. I wrote it out for you for Notre Dame. Luke Fickell, Luke Fickell, Luke Fickell. Let him coach Cincinnati in the college football playoffs, and then hire him to coach Notre Dame. That's the perfect hire. That's the only hire. Just like when you get past the shock value, you know that Brian Kelly is a gem for LSU. Lincoln Riley was the guy. One of one. He was the perfect choice, the only choice to get USC back to a championship level. I mean, and what does that mean? Instantly, double-digit wins, Pac-12 titles, college football playoffs, national championships, plural. It's all going to happen. Lincoln Riley is a rock star, great offensive mind, and he fits Hollywood. And that's huge. They talked about the attendance. Joint's going to be jumping. They have fans once again. It's going to be relevant, dominant. I can't wait. He's going to recruit LA and California. You're going to get his quarterback. And listen, do I think Oklahoma going to the SEC factored in? Oh, yeah. And by the way, that's smart and that's great. There's a better path to winning and being that flat-out rock star. And did I mention the reported $110 million contract? Of course he's taking the job. USC has been a mess since Pete Carroll left. Those lean years and dark days are over. I always thought Lincoln Riley would leave for the NFL, and when he didn't go to the Browns with Baker or take the Cowboys job, I wondered, well, here's a better job. This is one of the best jobs in all of sports, not just college football, not just football, sports. Lincoln Riley will get USC back to the level it belongs. The New York Mets signed Max Scherzer to a massive 3-year, $130 million contract. So, is Max Scherzer worth it for the Mets? Let's talk this out. Yes. Yes, he is. Max Scherzer is worth every single penny. And those are a lot of pennies. He's getting $43+ million a year, and I get it. Max Scherzer is 37 years old. In a very related story, look at his numbers from this past year. Just stare at them. This guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a multiple Cy Young Award winner. He's a bulldog. He's also going to go in that clubhouse and absolutely clean it up. He is not going to tolerate a losing mentality, something that has permeated the New York Mets organization forever. He is going to be worth it in the clubhouse, accountability. He's going to be worth it as a tremendous pitcher. And when you have Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer at the top of a rotation, and listen, if you're a Mets fan, you sign up for Scherzer giving you 2 great years. And I say this with a smile on my face. If he doesn't make it to the 3rd year, it's only money. And finally, the Mets can join that party. You know, it's crazy. I mean, when they were owned by the Wilpons, who acted like they owned the baseball team in Timbuktu, you know, they acted very frugal. Steve Cohen, the new owner, he's going to treat the Mets like the Yankees are treated, or the Dodgers, or the Chicago Cubs, or the Boston Red Sox. So if Scherzer isn't Scherzer, they'll find someone else. By the way, I love the Marte signing. By the way, I love the Escobar signing. The New York Mets are going to make the playoffs. Scherzer's going to make sure of it. I love this for the New York Mets. This is about the pitcher's mound. This is about the ability to tell the world we're a real franchise, a real baseball team. Love Billy Epler as the general manager. Fantastic job bringing in Mad Max Scherzer. This is about pitching, attitude, and accountability. To the NFL, where Washington did indeed win the ballgame last night against the Seattle Seahawks. And if the season ended today, it doesn't. The football team would be in the playoffs. So, will Washington make the postseason? Let's talk this out. I have to confess, Washington has been better recently than I anticipated. And you know, I didn't take the cheese on Washington preseason. Everyone and their mother, including mine, thought Washington was going to win the division. I thought that was garbage, and Dallas was going to win the division by multiple games, and still firmly believe that. But Taylor Heineke could play. And I thought Gibson was just incredible last night running the football. And I love the way Jack Del Rio's defense played. But look, San Francisco's been hot. They're a lock. Washington, I don't think they're a lock to hit 9. I don't even like them this week, short week, going up against the Raiders. I think that Team 7, the New Orleans Saints. And you know I always rip on the Taysom Hill truthers. He's a major upgrade over Trevor Siemian, who's been throwing it to the wrong team. Alvin Kamara should return, and I think that it's Ryan Ramczyk, the outstanding tackle, should return, and Mark Ingram should return. You got to hit 9. I think they beat the Jets, the Dolphins, the Panthers, and the Falcons, and I think that with a Hall of Fame caliber coach and Sean Payton, the New Orleans Saints will make the playoffs, and Washington will finish just short. But color me impressed with what they've done over the last 3 weeks. Give Ron Rivera a lot of credit. The New England Patriots have won 6 straight, and they vaulted into first place in the AFC East on Sunday. So, does Bill Belichick have a better chance to make the Super Bowl than Tom Brady? Let's talk this out. You bet your sweet Bippy that's the case. Bill Belichick has a much better chance of making the Super Bowl than Tom Brady. And I told you that the Patriots are making the playoffs this year. And even when they struggled mightily early, I said, don't jump off the bandwagon. Well, they've now won 6 in a row. And I believe when it's all said and done, New England's getting the 1 seed. And they can even lose next Monday in Buffalo and still get the 1 seed. So get used to it, haters. Look at that throw from Mac Jones to Kendrick Bourne in the back of the end zone. Mac Jones does everything right. Told you he was the right guy at the right time, and he's going to be the Rookie of the Year. Offensive line's tremendous. Run game is excellent. Matt Judon on the defense are fantastic. And I know the Colts are obviously strong. Miami's playing much better. I think that New England and Buffalo are going to split. Just deal with it. The New England Patriots right now are the most trustworthy team when you look at the wide open and amazing AFC. And I think they're going to get the 1, and the AFC is going through Foxborough, and everybody let them off the hook, and it's the New England Patriots' time to shine. I'm not ruling out my Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes is obviously Patrick Mahomes, but clearly Belichick has a better shot than Brady. The Patriots are better than the Buccaneers. And the Patriots are going to somehow get the 1 seed. You got to love sports. Or hate them. I'm glad we talked that out. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.